God says, something sacred has been hidden in plain sight. A love so pure, so gentle, has been walking beside you without asking for attention. And now, the heavens are ready to reveal what your heart couldn't see. For so long, your best friend has been the one to wipe your tears, calm your storms, and support you when others turned away. You called it friendship, but the divine called it preparation. Behind every laugh, every late-night talk, every silent comfort, they were falling deeper. They never wanted to rush you or confuse you. So they stayed where you needed them most, right by your side. But in their silence, God was planting something eternal, something unshakable. While others came and went, they remained. Through your heartbreaks, they stayed close, never letting you fall too far. They saw the parts of you you thought were unlovable and still chose to love you quietly. Type Amen to claim this divine revelation. They've been praying in secret, asking God to give them the right moment to confess. They didn't want to hurt you, confuse you, or risk losing what you two already share. But heaven has heard their prayers and is ready to open a door for both of you. God says, love isn't always loud. Sometimes, it waits patiently in the shadows until it's called into the light. This person isn't just interested in your heart, they've already been holding it with care. The love they carry for you is rooted in your soul. It didn't begin with romance, it began with loyalty. That's why it's unbreakable, unstoppable, undeniable. You never needed to look far. You just needed to look deeper. Everything you've been searching for in others, God already planted within the one closest to you. Type Amen 333 if you feel the chills of truth. They know you inside out, the real you, not the version you show to impress the world. They've seen your messy days, your silent struggles, and your raw moments. And yet, they never judged, never ran. You were always meant to be more than just friends. But God waited for the right season, because love that lasts is never rushed. Now, that season is breaking open, and something divine is being released. Heaven is shifting hearts. Yours is being pulled gently towards something familiar, yet completely new. A sacred union is forming from years of unnoticed devotion. They didn't fall in love with a fantasy version of you. They fell in love with your essence. That's why their love is ready to carry you into the next chapter. Type Amen and receive clarity if your spirit feels this. They remember the first time you laughed too hard at something silly. They noticed the sparkle in your eyes when you talked about your dreams. Each moment, they cherished like a treasure, storing it in the deepest parts of their heart. You've leaned on them during hard times without knowing they were asking God, please let me be the one to protect them forever. The love they carry is pure because it grew in the quiet places. It wasn't built on attraction alone, it was built on shared struggles, real moments, and deep soul ties. God says, what I'm revealing now isn't a coincidence. This is a divine arrangement that's been unfolding slowly, perfectly, according to my will. And now, the truth can no longer stay buried. There is no more denying it. The connection you have with them is unlike anything else. It was always meant to bloom into something more. Type Amen if this love is awakening in you. You've been questioning your path, unsure of who truly cares. But the one who's loved you the most has been there all along. And soon, they won't be able to hold back what their soul's been screaming. They've been writing messages they never sent. Practicing what they would say if the moment ever felt right. And now, God is whispering, now is the time. You won't need to force anything. Love like this doesn't need explanation. It will feel like returning home to a place you never knew you missed. The angels have been surrounding you both. Guiding every step, every shared moment, every silent prayer. This love is heaven sent. Type Amen 444 if your heart knows it's time. They know your pain. They've watched you chase people who didn't deserve your light. But they never tried to compete, only prayed that someday you'd see the truth. They want to be your last love. The one that restores every broken piece, not by fixing you, but by standing beside you through it all. They don't just want your hand, they want to walk with your soul. God says, this isn't a fairy tale, it's a divine unveiling. You're not imagining things. The signs you're seeing are real. You felt the shift, the change in energy, the unspoken tension between you two. It's no accident. Heaven is aligning it all. Type Amen and open your heart wide. They've been talking to others about you, wondering if you'd ever feel the same. Even your family may have sensed it. It's been that obvious to those who truly see. They want to build with you. Not just dreams and plans, but a sanctuary of love. A place where peace lives and joy grows. Every moment you spent thinking you were alone, they were thinking of how to be there even more. Their silence wasn't distance, it was devotion. They were loving you in a way that didn't demand attention. You don't need to fear. What's coming is safe, sacred, and chosen by God. Let your heart lean in. Type Amen 555 to walk into this new love chapter. This person has been through the fire with you. They know your history, your wounds, and your hopes. And they still say yes to your future. There's a reason you laugh differently with them. A reason your spirit feels lighter around them. God is revealing that the one you were meant for never left your side. This love won't rush or pressure you. It will wait for you to realize what God already knows: you belong to each other. The bond was formed long before either of you could see it. God says, I gave you this person as a gift. And now I am unwrapping the truth so you both can rise into your divine connection. Type Amen if this message is for your soul. You'll feel it in your chest, a peace that doesn't need explanation. The moment their truth is spoken, everything will make sense. Your history was never just history, it was the foundation for destiny. They were learning how to love you without needing to own you. Learning how to support you without being seen. And now, their love is stepping into the light. There will be no more guessing. Their heart is full, and they're ready to be bold. They're not here to be your friend anymore, they're ready to be your forever. Watch how everything aligns. How every word they say now hits differently. It's because the veil is being lifted. Type Amen 777 and claim the one who truly sees you. This is not just love, it is divine orchestration. The kind that brings two hearts together after years of silent devotion. You are standing at the edge of something holy. Don't be surprised if they reach out soon, if they speak the words you never thought you'd hear. Don't question the timing, it's heaven's timing. You won't need to force this love. It will flow like it was always meant to. Like it's been waiting patiently for your yes. God says, I've been writing this love story while you were healing. And now it's time to step into the chapter where your best friend becomes your everything. Type Amen if you're ready for this divine love to unfold. God says, prepare your heart, because something extraordinary is unfolding. The one you thought was a distant memory, is about to walk right back into your life. But this time, they're not coming back as a friend, they're coming back with love, purpose, and the desire to never leave again. You remember them from a time when love was innocent. When your heart didn't carry pain, and dreams still felt magical. That feeling you buried long ago is being awakened again, for a divine reason. They never forgot about you. Even after time, distance, and life changed everything, they held on to your memory. What you thought was just a childhood crush, was actually a divine connection in disguise. Their heart has been whispering your name for years. Even when you didn't realize it, they were thinking about you. And now, the heavens are orchestrating a moment of reconnection so powerful, it will take your breath away. Type Amen to receive what has been hidden for so long. They've grown. They're no longer the same person you once knew. But deep within, their soul still carries the same love for you that first bloomed when you were both so young. You may have moved on, thinking it was just a silly phase. But they never treated it that way. To them, you were the one that got away, and now, they're being led straight back to you. God says, I kept them in the shadows for a season. Because the love I was preparing between you two needed to be stronger, wiser, and ready for forever. The timing is now divine. You'll begin to see signs soon. Familiar names, places, feelings that pull at your spirit. That's not your imagination, it's divine alignment calling you closer to your destined partner. Type Amen 333 if your heart is feeling this divine energy. They still remember the way you laughed. The way your eyes lit up when you talked about what you loved. That memory has carried them through seasons of loneliness, through the ache of wondering if they'd ever find you again. This isn't a random event. Their return is a heavenly setup, crafted with care. Love is about to come full circle in a way you never expected. They've watched your growth from afar. Maybe through social media, mutual connections, or quiet whispers from the universe. And the more they saw, the deeper their love grew. They've loved you in silence for years. And now, that silence is being broken by a divine nudge that says, go. Find them. Speak your heart. Type Amen if you feel something stirring inside you. They're not just coming back to reminisce. They're coming back with intention. With a heart full of love that has matured, deepened, and been sanctified by time and longing. You may be surprised at how much they still care. But God has been preserving this love behind the scenes. Protecting it from the wrong timing, and preparing it for the perfect moment. There's a glow about to return to your life. A feeling of familiarity, comfort, and soul recognition. When you see them again, you'll feel it instantly. Your soul will remember, even if your mind forgot. And that's how you'll know this is not just a reunion, it's a divine rebirth. Type Amen 444 to accept what was meant for you all along. They've carried the weight of not knowing if you'd ever feel the same. But God has been giving them courage. And that courage is turning into action. You may have seen their name pop up unexpectedly. A sudden dream. A memory that came out of nowhere. These aren't coincidences, they're signals that something ancient is awakening. They've spent time healing, reflecting, and growing. Because deep down, they knew that if they ever saw you again, they'd want to be ready to give you everything. Not just words, but loyalty, love, and a future. They're not perfect, but they are sincere. And their heart beats for you in ways it never did for anyone else. That's why God is bringing them back into your life at this very hour. Type Amen and allow your spirit to be open to love again. They remember the smallest things about you. Your favorite snack. The way you used to talk about your dreams. Even the little quirks that made you, you. All of those moments mattered to them. Even back then, they felt something special. And now, after all these years, they're ready to speak the truth. God says, this love story was paused, but never cancelled. And now, it's time to press play again. Because the one your heart longed for long ago, still holds a piece of your destiny. The reconnection will feel surreal. But it will also feel right. As if the pieces of your life are finally clicking into place. Type Amen 555 if you're ready for a divine reunion. This is more than nostalgia. This is spiritual completion. A circle being closed by the hands of heaven. They want to create a life with you. One filled with laughter, peace, and shared dreams. They want to make new memories while honoring the old ones. You'll see it in their eyes when they speak to you again. That same spark, that same warmth. Only this time, it will be filled with courage. They've waited long enough. And so have you. Heaven is releasing the green light for something extraordinary. Type Amen if your heart believes in second chances. You were always there, what if? The person they thought of when love didn't feel real elsewhere. The one they compared everyone else to. And now, they're done searching. Because they know now, no one ever made them feel like you did. No one ever reached the depth of their soul like you could. This isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. God has been writing this chapter while you thought the story was over. But it's just beginning. The dreams you had of being with them? They were more than dreams. They were spiritual previews. Type Amen 777 to step into the love story God wrote just for you. You may find yourself smiling for no reason. Feeling lighter. That's your soul getting ready. That's your spirit sensing what's coming. They're coming back with a promise in their eyes. A promise to protect what was once fragile and nurture it into something everlasting. A promise to choose you, this time, with everything they've got. The time apart wasn't wasted. It was used to refine both of you. So that when you came back together, nothing could shake what you were building. This is your confirmation. The one who first made your heart skip now wants to make your soul rest. And God says, it's already written. Type Amen to unlock the reunion that's meant to bless your soul. This love will be different than anything you've felt before. Because it's rooted in innocence, refined by time, and anointed by heaven. It will feel like coming home. You won't need to chase or wonder. They're coming to you, not out of impulse, but because they've realized you were the one all along. They'll remind you of who you were before the world hardened you. Before the disappointments. And their love will soften the parts of you you thought would stay numb forever. You'll feel seen again. Loved again. And most of all, chosen. Type Amen 999 if you receive this divine message with your whole heart. Get ready. Because they're not just thinking about you, they're planning. Preparing. And soon, they'll show up with clarity and truth. The story you thought ended in childhood, is being rewritten with a holy pen. This is not just romance. It's restoration. A divine loop is closing. A forgotten spark is reigniting. And a sacred love is finding its way home to your heart. God says, I kept this love preserved. And now I'm releasing it with favor, peace, and destiny. Welcome it. Embrace it. It's yours. Type Amen to receive the one your heart never truly let go of. God says, the love you've been searching for isn't far away. It's not coming from a distant land or a mysterious stranger. It's right beside you, woven into the one who has laughed with you, cried with you, and stood by your side through every storm. They have watched you fall apart and put yourself back together. They have supported your dreams and even now, when you didn't believe in them, and deeply, they have grown to love you more than they ever imagined possible. This love didn't come out of nowhere, it was planted in the soil of friendship and watered through seasons of trust. They've seen you at your worst and still admired your strength. What started as care has slowly transformed into something sacred. They didn't want to ruin the bond you already had. So they kept their feelings silent, hidden in the quiet moments when you weren't looking. But now, their heart is too full to hold it in anymore. Type Amen to receive this hidden love waiting to be revealed. Every time you smiled at them, they felt their heart skip. Every time you needed them, they were grateful to be the one you leaned on. They've loved you in ways you never even noticed, but always hoped someone would. They know your fears, your dreams, your habits. They've memorized the way you speak when you're excited and the silence you fall into when you're hurting. That's not just friendship, it's devotion. They were never just passing time. Every conversation, every joke, every shared secret was their heart building a home around yours. And now, they are ready to open the door to something greater. They've asked heaven for a sign. And God says, it's time. Because what they feel isn't one-sided. Your spirit already knows this truth, it's been quietly longing for it too. Type Amen 333 if your soul feels this connection deep inside. You've always felt safe around them. That comfort wasn't accidental, it was divine design. You were never just friends, you were soul-aligned from the start. They didn't fall in love because of a moment, they fell in love because of all the little things. The way you speak with your eyes. The way you hold space for others. The way you light up a room without even trying. They've prayed for courage. Because loving you from a distance has become too painful. They want to walk beside you not just as a friend, but as a partner, a protector, and one day, a spouse. They know your past. They've seen the heartbreaks. But they also know how to love you in a way that heals, not hurts. They don't just want to love you, they want to restore the parts of you that others damaged. Type Amen 444 if your heart is starting to see the truth. They are ready to risk the friendship. Not because they're careless, but because they're certain. Certain that what you share is strong enough to blossom into something extraordinary. They want to be the one you wake up beside. The one who holds your hand when life gets dark. They want to love you in every season, through every change, until your last breath. You might be wondering how you didn't see it sooner. But that's the mystery of divine timing. Some things are hidden until the right moment, then suddenly, everything becomes clear. They've waited patiently. They've loved quietly. But now, the time for silence has ended. The time for truth has arrived. Type Amen 555 if you're ready to see them in a new light. You already trust them. You already rely on them. That's the foundation most people spend a lifetime trying to build. They never pushed or pressured. They honored your space, your choices, your pace. But they never stopped hoping that one day, your heart would turn toward theirs. There's a love that has matured in the background. It didn't need fireworks, it grew in the steady flame of presence, loyalty, and unwavering belief in you. God says, I placed them close to you on purpose. Because I knew the one who would guard your soul best, was the one already guarding your heart. Type Amen to allow what's meant for you to unfold freely. They're scared you might not feel the same. But they'd rather risk everything than spend another day wondering, what if? That's how deep their love runs. Their heart beats louder when you speak. Their world softens when you smile. They carry that pain as if it were their own. You may not have noticed how much they loved you. But it's in the way they stayed up late to talk you through your breakdown. It's in the way they remembered every little thing you said in passing. They've dreamed of a future where they don't have to pretend anymore. Where their love is no longer silent, but spoken proudly. Where they can wake up next to you every morning, knowing they finally have the one they've always loved. Type Amen 777 if your soul is ready to receive divine love. They were there when others walked away. They remained when others judged you. They never needed a reason to care, they just did. This isn't a love built on attraction alone. It's built on loyalty, time, understanding, and real connection. And that's why it's meant to last. They didn't choose to fall in love with you. Their hearts simply found home in your presence. And now, that love has grown so powerful, even they can't deny it anymore. You're about to see them differently. The veil is lifting. The truth is coming forward, and it's beautiful. Type Amen if your spirit feels the shift happening now. They want to build something lasting. Not just a romance, but a life. A shared home. A shared future. A sacred partnership built on truth and trust. They already know how to care for your heart, because they've done it for so long. But now they want to do it fully, completely, with nothing held back. This love is no accident. It was written in your story before either of you even realized it. A love that feels like destiny, because it is. They're not far away. They're close. Closer than you ever thought possible. Closer than your breath. Ready. Waiting. Type Amen 999 to open your heart to divine surprises. You won't need to guess how they feel. When they tell you, it will all make sense. The moments. The silence. The closeness. They are about to confess what has been held in for years. They'll look at you with eyes full of truth. And you will feel it in your soul, that this is not just love, it is legacy. They don't want to waste another day not being yours. They've hidden behind the title of best friend for so long. But now, they are stepping forward with clarity. God says, I am blessing this bond. I am opening both hearts to a deeper connection. What was once hidden is now being revealed. Type Amen if you're ready for your best friend to become your greatest love. You've been praying for a love that feels safe, warm, and true. What you didn't realize is that prayer has already been answered, it's been beside you all along. Now is the time to look again. To see what's been in front of you with new eyes. To welcome what heaven has been quietly preparing. This isn't just friendship. This is fate wrapped in kindness. This is romance born from trust. This is the beginning of your forever. And it's not coming from a stranger. It's coming from the one who already knows your soul. Type Amen to claim the love story that's been growing in silence, but is about to bloom out loud.